Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 31 of the Canadian Geekcast. This is another episode without our main host, Matt. Had to step out because he had a call for something. Today I'm here as host again, and Steve is here as well.
That's correct. I am here. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Josh.
What is up?
And Steph.
Hello, everyone. And Steve, shout out to Tea Buddies. Or do you have water?
Oh, coffee and water. Got a combo. Sorry, no tea for me.
Always gonna sip on that tea.
If you're not familiar with the Canadian Geekcast, we are so professional.
Derailed us.
No.
Conversation. This whole intro for you.
No. Again, we are the Canadian Geekcast. We go live every Sunday, so if you want to catch us live and interact with us, we'll give you a shout out on the stream if you want, or you could just be looking and watching. We don't mind. So if you like geeky stuff, good, because you're in the right place, because we like geeky stuff as well. And you know what we do? We talk geeky stuff each week here on the Canadian Geekcast, where we dive into the geeky realms of the week, which includes the latest video game news, to film, television, and really all sorts of awesome. If you want to listen to us, you can find us wherever fine podcasts are available, which includes iTunes, Google Music, and really all the links that are on our website, which is CanadianGeekCST.wixsite.com/home.
I don't think you fit enough geekies in there. I think you could fit at least 20 more.
I just got to mention it, man.
Bring us the geek counter.
Yeah, really.
At least 2.
I think we may need to put some production on that in order to do that for another time.
All right.
So also, if you want to hit us up with a question, you can email us at CanadianGeekCST@gmail.com. So we're going to dive into, not our topics yet, but the usual default question of what have we been playing, gaming, watching, or even doing this latest week, past weekend. So start off, Steve.
All right. So I have been taking a little trip to the Old West past week with Red Dead Redemption 2. Last episode I talked a little bit about it. I was in the tutorial stage of the game, so it was kind of slow, kind of sluggish, but I got to the point where the game's opened up, and let me tell you, it's giving God of War a run for his money for game of the year, at least in my opinion. There's so much to love about that game. I don't know about you, Josh. I know that you've been playing it as well.
I have. It's really good. It's not without its faults.
No, absolutely.
To be honest with you, I don't even put it as a 9 out of 10, to be completely honest. But
yeah,
strong 8.7 type thing. 8.9 maybe, just not quite a 10, 9, definitely not a 10. But I am enjoying it a lot.
Yeah,
it's big. It's a little slower pace than I thought. But you know what I think when I think back about it, I think probably the last one was a little bit slower paced too, and that's just how it was back then, and it's kind of more authentic, I think. So
a little bit, yeah. I think, like you said, there are definite flaws. I think some of the menu systems are flawed. A little bit of the combat and the weapon system, a little flawed there. But in terms of the story, in terms of the dynamic nature of interacting with literally every NPC in the map, the fact that this world, you exist in this world, but you're not the hero of this universe, the story. Stuff happens when you're not there. You could literally just stand in one spot, and the world's going to exist and going to grow around you without you interacting with it. That's the kind of stuff I really like about the game.
Yeah.
There's
I don't know about you, but I had a really funny, like really early on experience. I was just kind of like minding my business, walking along with my horse,
Mm-hmm.
and the dude, he was on the side and he's trying to fix his horse's shoe or something.
Yeah.
And he's like struggling with it. So you get the option of talking to these NPCs, right? So I kind of stopped and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, you need a hand?"
Yeah.
And he freaks out. He's like, "Whoa, Jesus, you scared the hell out of me!" And then the horse kicked him in the head, and the dude died.
Yeah.
And then my horse immediately took a crap, like the second the guy dropped, and I'm laughing, I'm just dying.
That's awesome.
My daughter comes in, she's like, What's so funny?" And I showed it to her. She's like, "Did your horse just take a crap on that guy after he died?" I'm like, "Yeah, he totally did."
Yeah.
Oh man, that caught me right off guard. I was not expecting that. It was great. It was a really great moment.
And that's kind of the thing I love about this game, is that there's so many water cooler moments coming out of it that your experiences are going to be totally different from mine. The people I interact with are going to be separate from yours, and that's kind of what you see this on Twitter, you see this on Reddit, like everyone sharing these experiences, and kind of that's what really makes the game. Like when I'm not doing the main quest, when I'm not doing like any of the story components, that's the best time of this game, is just interacting with the world.
Yeah.
I think it's really great.
A lot of fun. And there's a lot of hidden stuff there. Like
tons of hidden stuff.
I don't know, I found a couple caves that had like things in it, like puzzles and for rewards and stuff like that. And I found something else, but I haven't got back to it yet, but I will. I was literally in the middle of a mission. I was trying to run away for my life because I was getting shot at, and I saw this like thing. My dude, he's like wanted to stop and start drawing in his notebook. And I'm like, "No, you do not have time to stop and draw in your notebook."
Yeah, he's drawing out like a location or something like that, right?
Yeah, like a treasure location. So I got to go back and find it. I think I know where it is, but there's
one specific like cabin that I came across, and some really weird stuff happens in it. Like if you know Rockstar and their love of like the sci-fi, the paranormal, like Easter egg kind of stuff like that, something like that happens in it, and it made my like guts sink a little bit, because I was like, what is going on? The whole atmosphere changed and everything. I was like,
neat.
Yeah. And then other than Red Dead, I've been playing Diablo 3 on the Switch, and it's good to be back. It's good to be back. I don't know. It's more Diablo. I think it's become almost a meme at this point to say like everything feels better on the Switch, but Diablo kind of feels better on the Switch. I'm not gonna lie. That's all I got.
What about you, Josh?
I've been playing The Surge, which is a game that I missed when it originally came out. It's a really good game. It's hard. I feel like I'm like living out, like Groundhog Day or that movie with Tom Cruise. The hell was it? The Day After Tomorrow or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, because like I just keep dying a lot.
Live, Die, Repeat. That's what they named it after the theatrical release. Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been playing that. It's a great game. And Red Dead Redemption and Assassin's Creed, and I've also finally started playing Stardew
Valley.
No, God, no. No, the new Ubisoft one. Sorry, Starlink.
Oh, Starlink. What do you think?
Brain just like I literally just started it. I had to re-download it again. I went to play it. I'm like, hey, let's go play. And it's like, oh, you need to re-download it. Your download's corrupted. So I'm like, okay. So I've got a good 8 hours to wait for that then. Cool. And then I turned it on, and then I let my wife's like, you have your podcast. I'm like, okay. And I put it back down.
Which version are you playing on?
Switch.
Ah, okay. The true version.
Yeah, Fox.
The one that, I mean, like, let's just call it what it is. It's a Star Fox game.
Yeah. I always like to call it a quasi Nintendo exclusive.
It really is.
I think they sold like 3 or 4 times the amount.
On the Switch?
On the Switch?
I believe it.
It's a huge push.
Or was it 90% of their sales?
Push for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Everybody likes Star Fox, and I guess people weren't real happy the last outing that he had. So
not
this
at all.
Looked like the next best thing, and I guess it delivered. So,
I mean, with my experience, it definitely did. They got the original voice actors back. It feels like a Star Fox game, like the animation and everything. I thought it was great. Yeah.
Did you use the toys?
No.
No.
Do you at least put the toys on the shelf just to look at them every once in a while, or no?
Me? No, I have it digitally.
Okay.
So
okay.
so the plus side for having it digitally is you're locked to the toys that you have purchased, whereas the digital one, if you buy like the deluxe or whatever, you just have everything there and you can just go through the menus and just switch the weapons as you will instead of having to reach for a toy, put it on, take it off. That it gets rid of like a little bit of the management system.
Yeah, so that's part of like my thing is I'm going to be playing with the toys, and I'll probably have to pick up some extra ones too to go with it.
Yeah,
just because like I want to understand how that works and how to do all that stuff.
Sure.
Because I can't properly like talk about it unless I can get into all the little nuances of it, right?
No, absolutely. I think with my time during like the previews and everything, it's really dynamic. Like it's instant once you switch it over.
Yeah,
it feels good. The toys feel great, but
yeah, they're very cool. I like them, but I don't know if I want to buy like a whole bunch of toys. I don't know. I'll buy a few, right?
Just get the Star Fox. I can't remember what it's called.
The R-Wing.
Oh.
Yeah, that
R-Wing.
I've got that. So yeah,
Noise.
that's it for me. And I'm not really watching anything. Just not really watching anything.
Okay. Steph?
I was away at TwitchCon last week. That was my first time going to TwitchCon, so that was interesting. Friday was not so fun with the lines. It was 2 hours to get our badges and 2 hours to get in. So, not so great.
Fun.
Wait, 2 hours separately? So 4 hours?
Yeah, 4 hours total.
Nice.
And it was kind of funny because, like, when we were in the line, they were like, oh, maybe it'll be better tomorrow. And I was like, nah, no one turns anything, like this scale of event, no one turns it around in 24 hours. I said that on the Friday, and then the next day I got inside within 10 minutes. I was like, oh. So, like, massive kudos to Twitch. That's not an easy thing to do with such a big convention. And, because I think the biggest panic of the first day is they didn't have people telling you which line to go into. So there was, like, all these lines, and they were, like, double backing on each other. They went all the way around the block, and then no one really knew where to go. It was in it was in San Jose. So it was the first time holding this in San Jose because they change it every year, which I think is to their detriment because then they don't figure it all out in one place.
New venue.
Yeah. Right. So it changes every year. And so no one knew where they were going. So there was this line that, like, if the con was, like, in one place, it went, like, all the way down the street, back around to where there was, like, a protest for the Marriott. It went down and then back around, and it went all the way down past the block. But the problem is because people didn't know that it continued, they just, like, zippered in. So people had been waiting, had gone all the way down, back around, and then looped back around twice. They were zippering in, so people had lost, like, 1 or 2 hours compared to other people. And it's because there was no one out there with, like organizing the lines.
Right.
And then it was kind of annoying too because, like, the lines were so long. You had to go to people like, is this the line to get my badge or is this the line to get in? And half the time people didn't know. They were just in the line because it was impossible to figure out who was where. But by the second day, they had people out there. They had people being like, this is a line for badges. This is a line to get in. There's another door around the corner. Like, again, props for turning around. That's not easy. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it was quite good. I mean, people were friendly, and overall the vibe was pretty good. I guess we all kind of bonded over how bad Friday was.
Yeah.
So, and then people were happy about, like, the changes. They were happy about the new subs and all that stuff. And it just, like, was like a big hangout.
Twitch parties?
I didn't know. There was a developer party, which I missed because I flew in too late on the Thursday. And then I can't remember which was the Friday was the Discord party, which was invite only. And Saturday was the partner mixer. And And Sunday there was the Would You Kindly party, which I went to. That was really nice. People were really friendly. They had this like really cute photo booth. Wait, I've got. Hell yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So we had this photo booth, and then afterwards I went to this like little developer thing where I met some really cool people. So that was about it, really. I met some cool people at the con too. So
sounds like you had fun.
Solid.
yeah, it was pretty good. Did not enjoy the 6-hour flight time to get down there, but you know.
Yeah. Would you go again?
Oh, and then watching I'm watching Riverdale, which has just become absolute bonkers town.
Yeah,
man,
I would not want to live there.
I'm in a roller coaster, and I'm just here for the ride at this point. It's something. We binged watched Castlevania season 2, which is very good. The animation quality is so good. I mean, everything should be Castlevania level animation.
100%.
And then I finished my visual novel finally. I finally dated all 5 boys, and I'm extremely sad that it's over.
Congrats.
Great.
Now I have 3 more by the same people, so hell yeah. And I guess Spyro comes out in a couple weeks, so I'm pretty sold for games.
Just an aside for the Twitch conversation, Geek Goyle says, my son wanted to go, but we didn't make it, so that's sad, but yeah.
Next year.
Yeah, next year.
It's always next year.
To be honest, I don't know why you would go if it's not work related.
Really?
Yeah, like a lot of these streamers, you can meet them like at other cons.
Right.
And they're probably closer to you, or if they're closer to you, you can just meet them there. Like, I don't know. It was kind of interesting because I was talking to partners, and I'm like, what do you even get from being here? And they're like,
nothing.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like EGLX for a lot of us is like where everyone goes to meet up and hang out.
Right.
Right? Like,
Which
that's the
exactly
1 or
what
2 times a year we
was.
see each other, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of TwitchCon for streamer communities. So unless you're like a part of that community, I was like, I don't understand why you would be here.
So they can all meet up and say, hey, do you stream Fortnite? So do I.
You're not lying.
You're not.
I mean, actually, I met some really interesting people. So there was one time, so we're all crowding around this DDR machine that they had because they had this little arcade. And there was a bunch of partners. So one was a variety streamer, one was a Quake Champions, and the other person does crochet.
That's cool.
I was like, hell yeah.
Sweet.
Sick. Guess which one interested me the most? It was crochet.
Crochet?
Yeah.
Fortnite. Oh.
No. But yeah, so, I don't know. It was interesting. Fortnite had this massive tent and, like, Nerf guns and stuff. That was pretty fun. Yeah.
That sounds fun. I like that.
Dennis, what have you been playing?
Yeah, I mean, I really can't say anything new. I'm still playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey because it's a huge game. I'm just slowly getting through it. I think I'm at the point where I'm past Sparta, so they gave me these tasks to do, and I'm doing that right now. So yeah, and like you meet, you're trying to find the mother and father. I've met them already.
Right.
One of them's cool. One of them is he's something.
He's really something.
Yeah, he likes math, I think.
Something like that.
Pythagoras theorem. Other than that, I'm just looking forward to Spyro. So, I'm honestly, Spyro's like my break time from Assassin's Creed because I really just can't handle any more until Spyro gets here. And as for watching, I'm like I already mentioned it before we went live. I've just been trying to catch up on all these Netflix shows that have dropped, and I'm slowly getting through it. I think I'm like 2 episodes away from finishing Daredevil season 3.
Nice.
I'm slowly getting through Sabrina and Castlevania. I'm halfway through. And I haven't started House of Cards the last season. So
How is Sabrina? Is it like Riverdale quality?
I gotta say I've only watched like half the first episode, and it's because I turned it off. Not because it was bad, but because whoever the director of photography was needs a kick in the balls. That guy's an idiot.
You're really torn up about this blur effect, eh?
Dude, it made me feel like it was brutal. I felt sick to the stomach anytime they had like a night shot. It gets all blurry around the edges stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like just like a real small part of the screen is in focus. And it's really, really aggravating to watch. I hate it.
My girlfriend was watching it.
No,
it's
like writing wise, is it Riverdale quality?
I would say so, to be honest.
Yeah,
okay,
I think so.
I'm in.
I mean, it's like this really isn't like the Sabrina show from the '90s. It's totally different.
I'm fine
it's
with
more
that.
It's more dark if you like that, and it's just like, I mean, do you want spoilers or not?
No.
Yes.
Nah, it's just like it's real. There's silly points in the show, but like it's really dark. To be honest, I really don't know how to describe it. It's just like you have to watch it yourself if you like it or not. But I think you will. It feels. I mean, this is technically set in the Riverdale universe, I guess, if you want to call it that, because like Riverdale's in one town, I think Greendale, where it says like the next town over, a couple towns maybe. So yeah, I think I like it, to be honest. It's more different. There's like a couple character decisions, like if you expect the Salem from the '90s shows, he's not going to be there, but he might be there in some way, and that's all I'll say.
It's disappointing. That's what it is.
I like it. If you want the '90s show, watch the '90s.
Go watch the '90s show.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not what I want.
It's supposed to be dark and nasty and gritty. It's the point. It's the chilling adventures of Sabrina. The comics are pretty cool. I have a couple of them. I got a special. I don't know where it is right now, but I got a special edition 666 edition of it, which is the first one that came out.
Yeah.
And it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So
cool.
Nice.
Yeah. It's good. Like the comic series is good.
I've heard that much.
I also collect like the Afterlife with Archie comics. I have every issue and every cover variant that has come out for that. Yeah. I'm an Archie guy. Always have been.
And other than what I've been watching, I'm still watching like the CW shows, just the lead up to that big crossover event, because I think they finished filming this past weekend. So looking forward to that. So
is that the one with Batwoman?
Yeah, it's Batwoman, and it's like Elseworlds, which is like I don't know much about it, but I know like Green Arrow and Flash's powers are reversed. So Oliver Queen is the Flash, and I've seen some pictures. Yeah, I've seen some pictures. It looks cool. I really don't know what to expect. I know this time around, they're not doing the crossover with all the shows. So they're only doing Supergirl, Arrow, and Flash. So no time traveling shenanigans from the Legends.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah.
I hear that they're not doing too good in ratings these days, anyways.
Yeah, it's a very silly show sometimes. Like, episode there was like a man eating unicorn, and past episode I watched is an evil godmother. So yeah, that's all you need to know.
An evil godmother?
Right. Yeah, an evil godmother.
They're always evil, them godmothers.
Yeah, they kind of go over it in the episodes. Like she was like, she's yelling, I have to give these wishes to these girls who are just spoiled and just, oh, who wears glass slippers? That's dumb, or something like that. It's a really dumb show. I really don't know if they're gonna get another season. I would be surprised, but if
quality like this,
yeah, really,
yeah, and that's it for me. So let's dive into the topics, shall we?
I guess so. We have to.
You want to?
Nah.
Wow, we're such a go get 'em bunch this morning.
Oh man!
Hell yeah, Dennis! Let's do it. Let's go.
Oh, somebody has enthused.
Woo!
Okay, we're diving into our first topic, which is the quick news.
Colonel, you better take a look at this radar.
What is it, son?
I don't know, sir, but it looks like a giant.
So we have 3 topics to go over. I think the first one I will jump into, it has to do with the PlayStation Classics full lineup has been revealed. And they have, we only knew a certain amount of games, and now they've just to go over some of the games that are coming to this is Battle Arena, Toshinden, Cruel Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy VII, Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms. So after listing all those games that are coming to the PlayStation Classic, what do you guys honestly think about this?
I was underwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a few really good ones in there, but like a couple games were a little puzzling for me, like Resident Evil Director's Cut, which you can get on current consoles.
Yeah.
People aren't gonna really like how it plays. It doesn't play well. It did not age gracefully from that to now.
Right.
You're gonna jump into it. You're gonna start playing it. You're gonna be like, wow, these controls bite. Wow, that camera angle sucks. The fat one. Like, you're just gonna get fed up and you're gonna turn it off. That was a really weird one for me. Battle Arena Toshinden, though, that's a solid series, and I would love to see that one come back with like a full-fledged reboot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys played it or not, but I played hours. I'm not a fighting game guy, but that one I spent hours upon hours playing.
I was like, I don't get it. There were so many I felt were missing.
Like what?
Croc. All I wanted was Croc, and they didn't give me Croc, and I was upset. And even having like the original Spyros would have been cool.
But there's a trilogy.
I can understand why they didn't do it, because they already have like you can get more money out of people if you for the remasters. So,
but
and plus
they're different.
Yeah,
like, and you're not buying the remastered because you don't have access to the original necessarily. You're like, I want to experience the old game but with new graphics, so that shouldn't steal their sales. Like, I don't know. I thought
it feels like a wasted slot for PlayStation or for Sony to go to Activision and say, can we use the Spyro license on this game when they're doing a remaster? It feels like they could have used that. Would have taken one of the 20 spots out.
Yeah, but some of those
people
games
are going to get
don't really like. I wasn't super excited for anyways, so I was just like, I was a little bit disappointed, but mostly Croc. And even just like Crash Bash would have been cool.
Yeah, or CTR, right?
CTR.
Yeah. We were kind of talking about that like after this officially announced in our group chat. Like that was probably like the only game like out of like Crash and Spyro would be like that would be understandable to put in. Like, to be honest, the concept of like these micro consoles, like there's like I saw a stat like there's like 2,500 PS1 games, and if you put the concept of 20 games, you're going to be disappointed either way. Like,
absolutely.
So the other ones also was like Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross.
Yeah, those two games. Yeah, I was thinking of Legend Dragoon, like just to get more JRPGs in it, but I have this pre-ordered, and now I'm just thinking maybe I should save my money.
Yeah, because you're the PlayStation guy, like. Overall, out of all of us, I don't really have that much nostalgia for, I would say, 3/4 or more of these games.
Yeah, I would say there's maybe 5 games I would play, but
yeah,
like when this was first announced, I saw somebody I follow, and he was basically saying like all of these games minus Tekken 3 are all available as a PlayStation Classic on PS3, and like you could just get them there if you want that experience. Just get a PS3. To be honest, like I'm not into this, so I don't know. I'm. It's not that I'm like disappointed. It's just like I probably hyped myself up too much, to be honest.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Arc the Lad on there. If that game was on that I was gonna buy that system, but just for that one game. But Wild Arms is on there though. Is that what you said that?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Wild Arms.
That's a great game.
That's great.
Even Suikoden would have been great too. like those are some really solid RPGs that were kind of like what some of the games that got me into playing RPGs. That would have been nice. Oh, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's just I kind of like if the N64 mini or classic. I just hope maybe it's a little better, to be honest, because there are a lot of N64 games that
No, it's not going to be.
don't-
The licenses are all gone. They don't
Yeah,
have
that's
licenses for most of them. So
Yeah,
all the good ones that people want, they can't do. So
yeah, that's true.
And also, as we get further along, like the timeline of generations, these games just don't hold up like the
They don't.
NES, Super NES do. Like Josh, you said, Resident Evil is not going to control as well. Grand Theft Auto, there, Metal Gear, all these games, they just don't hold up anymore.
I mean, that's why I'm so excited for the Final Fantasy VII remake, because I never actually played the original, which is like sacrilege, I know, but I actually tried to play it because it's on Steam, but the graphics just, I couldn't do it. Because I have this image of like Final Fantasy VII from like Advent Children?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Like and then Final Fantasy X onwards.
Mm-hmm.
So when I picked up 7, I was like, oof. Big oof. Like, I don't know. I just like couldn't get over it because I was just so spoiled with like more modern graphics. So I feel because SNES and NES had that like really classic pixel style, which keeps a lot better. Like if you could play like the original Sonics, like they still hold up.
Yeah.
But like those early 3D graphics are rough.
Yeah, they are.
They do
There
not
was a
age
time
well.
once upon a time, Stephanie, in the days of horse-drawn carriages, where that was mind-blowing. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when we saw that, we start playing it, we're like, holy crap, look at the graphics of this. This is so realistic. It's like a cartoon.
No, I know. And
Yeah, it's
at
funny.
that
You go back
time-
and look like, it sucks.
at that time, it like you said, that was the norm, and you're like, oh my god, this is so amazing. But comparison to like pixel graphics, they just don't hold up as well.
Yeah,
I agree.
looking at them, it just shows you how much we've evolved over these past
10
4
years or so.
generations.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years as well. So yeah, like I don't know, man. Like the idea of these micro consoles, I'm like kind of off board now.
I think we've hit the line there. Like,
Yeah,
NES was a shoe-in. Like, everyone was hot on nostalgia. Super NES, I feel like, even had a drop-off of people interested in it. At least from, like, what I heard. And then, at this point, I'd be surprised to see people clamoring for N64 Mini the way they did for NES.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, those games they're timeless. That's why.
Yeah.
I would like to see a Sega Genesis with some Sega CD games included on that. If that happens, I'm all in on that.
I really want to see a PS4 classic come out.
I hate you, Steve.
Those already exist.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just the original
Okay.
PlayStation at this point.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I have. That's the one I have.
I think I do too. It's like the 500 gigabyte model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, let's dive into our next quick news topic. Do you want, Josh, you want to jump into this?
Sure. So last week, or this week, I guess on, I think it was the 31st, we got our first look at Henry Cavill, who better still be said Superman, as Geralt in The Witcher, that series is coming to Netflix. And the response has been fairly mixed, mostly negative, though, from what I can see. I don't know, like, what do people want? Like,
I can tell you what they wanted. They wanted Geralt from Witcher 3.
yeah,
They-
but
they
he's
did
older, so
anything
like, this is the
other than
start.
that. Yep. His hair was too long. He was clean shaven. I'm trying to think what else like people picked apart. But basically, I think it was like the hair was super long, so people were like, he looks more like Legolas or Draco Malfoy's dad.
Targaryen from Game of Thrones, right?
Sure.
Like, it's Khaleesi's
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I picked up what you were throwing down.
Yeah, I know. And
yeah.
I don't know.
I think like honestly, that's
like
it.
the wig they put on him was just kind of silly looking, with
People
a
said
little
it
more
looked like a
production in there.
Yeah, it looked like a cheap Halloween wig.
Yeah,
But it's still just a screen test, right? Like it's
No,
I
exactly.
mean, it's probably going to be final. But I mean, you let them grunge him up a little bit and have proper makeup done.
Yep.
And wait till you see it moving. But like, this is the beginning of the series. Like, The Witcher 3 was the end of the series. He's older and, you know, more refined, I guess, in his skills. Let's work towards that.
Well, this is pre-Witcher 1 because this is from the books.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realize that this series is based on the books, not the video games. And we're kind of talking about this in the internal chat where they're doing this like kind of annoying like middle ground where they're like trying to appease the gamer fans but not quite enough. Like I think they would have done better just to kind of being like, look, it's a separate thing. Because right now they're just like on that fence and they're not really appeasing either.
Well, they also told us they teased that it's going to be next year, right? So, so we're definitely going to get to see this in 2019.
I hope so.
We'll see, because I don't know if they've started filming or not. So, like, I heard it's officially 2019 on their site, but I've heard 2020 from their showrunner. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets delayed, not like 2020, like late in the year, maybe like early or so. But I don't really know what to think because I'm not. I have Witcher 3, but I've not played it. I don't know why I bought it because it was on sale during Boxing Week or something. So I think I'm kind of excited a little for it, but I think I need to see more. Like just looking at the screen test of this is nothing to go off, to be honest. I don't know why people are like being so judgy about it. Like just looking at the first video test doesn't mean you have the great impression of how the show is going to end up. So,
but everyone needs their hot takes, Dennis, and everyone needs to be mad about everything. So,
well, their hot takes can go down the toilet.
Mic drop.
But it was just like Joaquin Phoenix when they did the screen test for Joker. Everyone had to put in their 2 cents without seeing a trailer or something. So.
Yeah, and then after we see some like photos on set, it's like, oh, this looks actually pretty well.
Yeah.
Like when I saw this, I was kind of reminded of Joker, Suicide Squad. Like people had their take on it, and you know, in the end, they were kind of right about the movie, but it wasn't Joker's fault. But it was just the whole thing. But so yeah, I don't know what to say other than that. Like I don't have much knowledge on the lore of The Witcher, either the books or the games. So I'm excited.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah, that's why I hear about the author as well, too.
Oh yeah,
his royalties.
He wants those royalties.
Yeah. Anything else to add on this topic, or should we move on?
No, I had nothing.
Okay. This is our last topic in quick news, and this has to do with Castlevania, the animated series. So it doesn't have to deal with directly, but it has to deal with their executive producers. And there's a rumor going on that they are set to produce the Legend of Zelda animated series, which that's interesting, because if they take what they've learned from Castlevania and adapting an animated series from that video game series and doing it for Legend of Zelda, I think this could be a really great series, because Castlevania, I don't really know that much about. I've really haven't played any games, so like the animated series is like my introduction to that, and it does a really great job. And if they could do the same with the Legend of Zelda, I don't know if they should adapt like any game per se, or just trying to do their own thing.
Yeah,
I think they'll do something similar. Well, they'll pick one game and do that, because the Castlevania series is based on Castlevania 3.
Okay.
So
it's a hybrid story.
Yeah. I think they'll do something like that. They'll pick one keystone.
But I mean, what's the story going to be? Like each episode he goes into a dungeon? Like the thing about a Legend of Zelda show is that, like, for the most part, Link doesn't talk. He's just an avatar for the player, right? Like he has whatever personality you really want him to have. Like in Breath of the Wild, for me, he's just a bumbling idiot who can't shoot arrows, and he just loves to cook a lot. Like that's my Link, which could be different to everyone else's. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how they put personality into this character and how they make a story of repetition, essentially, engaging for an audience.
Yeah, and like they could, like expand on character. To be honest, like There are some characters in The Legend of Zelda, like, I kind of want to know why he's doing what he's doing. Like,
Sure.
when they did that with Castlevania, with Dracula, like, oh, it makes sense why he wants to kill all humans.
Yeah.
I get it. And I forgot the villain's name. It starts with a G.
Ganondorf.
Ganondorf. Yeah.
Ganon.
Yeah.
Ganon.
If they could do that for Ganondorf, why he wants the Triforce or whatever he's doing in this show, I'm down for it. At this point, it's just a rumor.
Right.
Whether this is like, I remember a long time ago, like maybe
It was like last year or the year before.
Yeah, I think it was like 2015, where it was rumored that Zelda Netflix show, and people were like, just like, is it live action? That's gonna be weird looking, and animated is a good choice to do it.
I think it's the way to go.
Yeah, it's the way to go. Like, for these kind of worlds that are just like, really out of this world, it makes sense. I don't know even know how you do that in live action. So I like this decision if it's true anyway. So
yeah, and I believe in the producers. I think if they can bring that quality over to a Zelda franchise, I think that's great.
Yeah,
they have proven success.
Yeah, and also to add to Castlevania, it got renewed for 3, and they're doing 2 more episodes, so they're doing 10 in total. So I like that very much. So
That'll probably be the last season, I'm guessing.
I don't know.
I was like, out of curiosity, I looked up the animation studios for Castlevania, and they were studios I wasn't really expecting. Like, they had done, I think, Fairly Odd Parents, and like,
weird.
Really?
I can't remember the other one, like OK Go or something like that. Like, it was completely unrelated, and I was just like, what? But it's a collaboration between 3 different animation studios, and I only saw info for 2 of them. The other one didn't have a wiki article, but yeah, I didn't see anything that was even remotely close to like that style of animation. And I was just like, how impressive. If they can bring that to Legend of Zelda, I might actually watch it.
Yeah. So let's move on to our second topic.
Dick,
Yeah.
take a look out of starboard. Oh my god, it looks like a huge...
So our next topic has to deal with the final Smash Bros. Nintendo Direct, and I think Steve wants to be the one to introduce this topic, right?
Yeah, I'll do that, guys. So I think it was on Thursday morning we got the final Smash Ultimate Direct, and within 2, maybe 3 minutes, all those Grinch theory supporters, myself included, their dreams and hopes got shot down real quick when Incineroar came out on that in that cinematic. I think it was really, overall, I think the Direct was a little weak, I'll be honest. The character reveals, all 3 of them, really great. So we had Ken, who will be a Echo character for Ryu. Sure, I'm down for that. That's pretty consistent with what everyone was theorizing over and over again. Incineroar being like a wrestle-centric,
Like WWE character.
Yeah, it's perfect. Honestly, I love it. Piranha Plant, it instantly went from what the hell are they doing to unsold. I need this character in my roster right away.
It was so fun.
It was, and I know that there are a lot of people were like, why Piranha Plant? But like, Piranha Plant's been there since the beginning. Like, first Mario game, like, he's an OG. Like, let's be real here. I think he has has potential to be a lot of fun.
And his moveset's so unique too.
Yeah, he's just looking at the trailer, it looks like a lot of fun to play around with him.
And his tiny little feet.
Right? Exactly. He's adorable.
Cute.
Back off of him, haters. Then we got some not so great news as they went into a way too long diatribe about how the spirit mode works, which in the beginning you kind of collect these spirits and you can increase like your attack and defense, speed, that sort of thing. That was really cool, but then it went on way too long.
That like rock, paper, scissors thing, like.
And I just don't know how many people are going to be excited about playing that. They took a concept that could have been good and just kind of shoehorned it in and made it way too complicated. Josh, I know you were talking about how like kids who jump into this game are not gonna know what's going on with this.
No, they're gonna have no clue. It's just needlessly complex. I'm not gonna know what the hell to do with that.
That's the thing is like I understood it for the first couple minutes, and then they lost me. Like it just went on way too long. They went into the nitty gritty when they shouldn't have. They should have just moved on from it and kind of continued on. But it went way too long.
I didn't get, like, there was like final forms, and you had to say goodbye to them, and then like you could merge them together, and I was just like, what is this? Like, I don't know. It was weird. It's like they tried to shove the entire Pokemon game into Smash Brothers.
Bit. And then you can send them out to go do like fetch quests where they'll get like additional items for you. Honestly, I don't want any of that. Just give me main component Smash. Although, continuing on, they did show off their new adventure mode, what is it, Traveling Light or something like that, which looks great. The idea of like going around a hub world, unlocking characters, that seems super sweet. I'm down for that.
Yeah, I just like that there's a story mode in it, and it's very Infinity War-esque.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah, that trailer, need more of that.
You thought Thanos was bad? Hoo-wee.
Like, never mind that 50-50 ratio. Get that 99.5% ratio.
Oh my god. Yeah. And they gave lyrics to the Smash theme song, like in a super anime way. It was awesome.
There's a singer who does a bunch of like English anime adaptations called Amelie, and I was like, it sounds so much like her. It sounds like an Amelie song. I don't know if it is or not.
Was it her? Oh.
I don't know. I tried looking it up like directly after, and there was no info about who sang it. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. Overall, I think they went way too hard into like the mundane things. Like at one point, they're like, "Here's how to go into the help section." I was like, "Why are you doing this?" No one needs to know that, but I guess maybe like in Japan, like there's like some sort of like crossover, like that's how they handle it. They want to go into those finite details, but it just doesn't translate well over here.
I mean, it was for me. I was like, oh crap, you've got like, was it 8 different languages or something?
Yeah.
And then each character has their own name and their own voice.
Which is
in their
super
language,
sweet.
which is like, holy crap! No wonder, like this game is huge. How did they fit this onto their cartridge? Like that's insane.
Yeah, I don't know. What did everyone think about it overall? That watched it, or?
I mean, I really only watched it through my feed because like I wasn't. I got up like way too late to actually watch it, so I was like watching it through my feed and like.
Started at 10, Dennis. Shame on you.
Man. I'd rather just watch it on my feed because I saw like one of my people I follow was doing a wrestling meme on the piranha plant reveal. I was like, it was basically playing Piranha's head on Roman Reigns' body. It was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And they had like I think at one of the Royal Rumbles they had like The Rock raise Roman Reigns' hand, and Sakurai was The Rock, and Piranha Plant was Roman Reigns, and I was like, "Oh, that's so great."
Yeah,
that's the only thing I really saw. Didn't they also like announce like a fighter pass for it as well? Like
so they have a DLC plan. That really says that they're going to support this game from release in December up until at least February of 2020.
Also, sorry, that messaging really pissed me off. Hey, we don't want you to buy something if you don't know what it is, but we're not going to tell you what's in this DLC pack, so please buy it.
But I think Sakurai came out like hat in hand and said, if you believe in us, you're not going to be disappointed. And I'll give him this. He specifically said, if you don't buy it. That's the kind of stuff that personally I really like, and I don't know. I trust in Sakurai and his team. They've clearly put in tons and tons of passion into this game. But just to kind of get into it, so 5 DLC packs, each will come with 1 character, 1 stage, and a certain amount of musical tracks. 5 are planned out, each coming to $5.99, or you can buy the Fighter's Pass for $24.99.
Yeah, when I heard about that, I was like, somebody, I was like saying to him, you have 5 more chances to get
for Banjo.
Yeah, for Banjo, and if he doesn't come.
That's it. It's never coming.
But he still has hope. That's the thing.
I still have hope too.
Yeah.
Me and Riley regularly go back and forth and talk about like the possibility of Banjo, and I'll be honest, I'm still pretty convinced that he will be included in DLC. There's too much evidence going for it.
Yeah, especially with like Phil Spencer answering questions on Twitter, like
Stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. The possibility is definitely there. If it felt, I mean, I kind of in my mind I can kind of see it happening, but we'll just have to wait for these reveals for these characters or not.
Mm-hmm. And Sakurai also said that all 5 characters are being built from the ground up. They're not going to be Echo Fighters. They're not going to be any sort of they're going to be brand new. So that leads me to believe that Sakurai is actively looking for third-party support, as well as probably taking a couple or probably 3 directly from Nintendo. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I know a lot of people were kind of disappointed in like the whole Grinch theory being debunked and everything, but based on what we have, this game is like everything any Smash fan could want. I don't really see what kind of gripes there are. There's something in there for everyone, really.
I mean, it has to live up to the Ultimate name with like what they're putting into this.
And I think it is just based off what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Anyone have any additional thoughts on Smash?
No, not really. I just like I'm not really that big of a Smash fan, so like I think they'll like if I really want to think about it, I've only probably owned 2 Smash games, and so it was like the N64 and the Wii U. I've watched the GameCube one, but I really didn't play much of it, so I'm not like excited to get into this, what it's all about, and Smash December.
Yeah, I'm kind of like.
More like Mash.
I kind of want it as like a party thing, but the Joy-Cons are too expensive, so I still haven't invested in the second pair. And then also the fact that you have to unlock the characters, I'm like, please just give me a cheat code. I don't have time for that.
But that's half the fun.
Yeah.
I just want a game where people can come over and I play parties. I don't want to sit and unlock all these characters. I mean, like, I understand why people are like why they want that, but like for me personally, that's not my like why I want Smash Brothers. So I'm just like, just give me the cheat code, please.
You know what you should do? You should go to Nintendo and ask them to put in a microtransaction so they'll unlock it for you.
Don't you dare. No.
Oh, Steve.
It's really just a time
you.
saver.
Yeah. But like yeah. Everyone wants this game for different reasons, right? And for me, it's like, that's my party game. And so it's not something I would be playing by myself. I just want to be playing it with friends or parties. This is the only time I really ever played Smash Brothers. So I don't want to invest all this time. I could be playing my visual novels.
That's fair.
Okay.
Dating 5 boys. Yeah.
Yeah, all 5. Anything else, Dad, or do you want to move on?
We can move on.
Okay, so moving on to something that's very serious as Smash. Let's move on to something as serious, maybe. So let's dive into topic 3.
Pecker!
Oh, where?
Wait, that's not a woodpecker. It looks like someone's...
And Steph, take it away. Why don't you?
All right. I'm a little fuzzy on the details, but it sounds like Scum came out with this pack, or they were like asking people to support them. I wasn't sure. I heard some people say it was a Kickstarter and others say it was just like a DLC or something. But basically, if you get this supporter pack, they revealed that in your character creation, you could have a slightly longer gentleman sausage. So now we're monetizing gentleman sausage lengths, and honestly, I'm kind of here for it because I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, I got the official press release about it, and it was pretty funny. Apparently, this game sold over 1 million copies.
What?
Yeah.
They put a lot of marketing. They bought everybody to play this game when it launched.
Jeez Louise.
Who is it? It's Devolver, yeah. Yeah, Devolver's got the money.
Yeah, sounds like them.
This sounds like a very Devolver move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's let people pay to get longer dingle dongles.
How big?
I don't know. I'm just trying to find that out now.
I saw a picture, and I mean, like, the biggest of porn stars would probably be fairly jealous of this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty
Here we
funny.
go. The default size is 4 inches, but if you're a Scum supporter pack owner, you won't be shortchanged. You'll get an extra 2 inches right off the bat. Players can increase their willy to a maximum of 8 inches or decrease it to the lowest available 1 inch.
Oh, you're going micro-sized.
Yeah, it's good times.
As with everything in Scum, the attribute is connected, so you add points to the length. It will reduce available attribute points.
Now, does it also affect girth, or is it just length?
I don't know. It sounds
Does
like
the
it's a
press release
slider.
go into that?
Now I'm going to have to send an email back to the PR people
Please
and ask
do.
them that question for you, Steve.
Thank you. I
Like,
appreciate
literally,
that.
this line here is amazing. Owners of the Scum supporters pack get an additional but important 2 inches to their penis length by default. The opposite is also true. You can take points away from your penis size and assign them elsewhere. I don't know what you plan to do with this information, but now, like me, it is in your head, and sadly will likely never be a category on Jeopardy.
Like, everything about this is just, it's such a good PR move. Like, how do you get people to talk about your game? Obviously, if you've not learned anything from the last couple of big games, you talk about dingle dongles.
Yeah, Soul Calibur, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Soul
Assassin's Creed,
That was a good
and
one.
also
Yeah,
Red
I
Dead.
totally hung from that. Yeah. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Calibur. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of Wang talk lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who's the one who's submitting these topics.
I don't know.
Could be anyone.
There's 2 types of people. Oh my god.
I mean,
Anyways.
everybody likes dick and fart jokes. They never get old, right?
No.
So this
They're
is
timeless
great.
classics.
Precisely.
I just
And
love the
last
fact
line
that
of
they
this
were
email,
like,
though,
sorry?
sorry, go. I said last line of this email says this is one of those tests to see who actually reads my email because I can't wait for the replies.
That's awesome.
I just love that they're making you choose. Like, it actually affects your gameplay. Like, if you put your points towards your dingle dongle, then there's less points to go into your other skill attributes. Like, man, what a great psychological experiment, and I really want to see those stats.
Like, yeah, you don't want to jump too much because you might knock yourself out or something,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
Shout out to VG247 who wrote, hold on, this is like, it's very good, let me find it. Basically, you can either sport an enormous Schwanstucker and have less attributes to spend, or choose a respectable tater tot and spend the points elsewhere.
Oh my god, so many synonyms.
Oh, good God.
Bless all these
Amazing.
people who obviously had a lot of fun doing this.
No question.
I'm not sure how I'd feel about being the developer having to do this, though, and program this.
Hey, they're probably having a blast.
Real world physics. I'm sure there's some amazing, like, outtakes in the back end.
Yeah.
Pardon? Good times.
I think the only thing from this from our Twitch chat can be said from Train ASS. Oh my god.
Train ass. What?
Don't say it.
Hey, we're teen. We can say the A word.
Yeah. They can say it on cable. We can say it.
I'm just trying to be PG. I'm trying to be at least a little, even with this talk, a little. I don't know.
You can't be. Sorry. We're
talking
Steph
about
calls
virtual
them
dongs.
dingle dangles.
Yeah.
Hey, only the maturest speaks here.
Agreed.
Yeah. I guess we can move on from that.
If you
From
want
that.
to, Dennis.
Yeah, let's move on from that hard
Okay.
talk.
Pardon?
I said let's move on from that hard talk.
Hard talk.
Oh.
That was bad.
Yeah, I know.
This chair is so soft.
Yeah, the pun wasn't that veiny too. So
Whoa.
okay, let's move on to our next topic. Steve, jump in.
Alright.
Privates! We have reports of an unidentified flying object! It is a long, smooth shaft, complete with...
So, for those that don't know, BlizzCon is happening, ending. It's going on this weekend. They held their opening ceremonies on Friday, and it was met with some mixed reactions. So to kind of go through their announcement that they had during the opening ceremonies, for one, the 29th hero in Overwatch has been announced. Her name is Ash. She's
And
a
I love
cowboy.
her.
She looks great, and in the same Blizzard fashion, they revealed her in a awesome animated short. Those never get old. I love it.
I played Overwatch once, and really, it's just not a game for me. But man, I will watch every single short that they put out. They're so good.
Yeah, I'm garbage at the game, but they always win me over with their character reveals. Always looks great.
I was sold when she just like punches McCree in the face because he's like, "It's high noon," and she just poof, right in the face. I was like, sold. Love you.
And then we got some other real nerdy stuff here. Hearthstone's next expansion. Moving on.
It's the Rostacon Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something.
It's all about trolls.
It's all about trolls. We got Warcraft 3 getting remastered, which is pretty big for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I never got sunk time into it. I played it at a friend's house, but I don't know. Seeing what they've done with it kind of makes me want to play it when it gets released.
I'll play that with you.
Sure.
I played Warcraft 3 like years ago, and it was a great game.
I heard nothing but great things.
Yeah, and it's basically getting like a full top to bottom like refresh. So I think that should be really good. They said it's supposed to be out next year too.
Next year.
I'm guessing probably summer.
Yeah,
that's my guess. That'll be fun. I think that's great for a lot of people that missed out on that.
I think so. I think especially after Warcraft 3 came out, and then they did World of Warcraft, and that's been going on for forever at this point. I think it's really great for them to come back with the preceding game and get everyone that's been exposed to Warcraft this whole time to experience one of their like tentpole games. And then we get to the final one, and oh boy.
You missed one thing though, Steve. Sorry.
Oh, what's that? Sorry.
World of Warcraft Classic is coming out in the summer as well. So if you haven't played the original like World of Warcraft when it first came out,
yeah,
you're gonna get to play that starting this summer.
Yeah, I've heard mixed things about that.
Well, I mean, if you never got to play the way it was,
yeah, I get it.
It's kind of cool.
I mean,
I'm not a World
how
of
long
Warcraft
ago?
guy. 14 years ago.
14 years exactly.
Like that's a whole new generation.
Yeah, most people don't even remember what the game played like.
Yeah. And I think some people say that's for the best. I watch a lot of people who are like OG WoW fans, and a lot of them are like, they made improvements to that game for a reason. So a lot of them are really interested to see how they deal with a lot of the issues that came up when it first launched, like balancing issues and like all these other things. They're like, they're curious to see how original it is, because a lot of them were like, the original experience was something.
Well, they're taking it back to patch 1.12, which was the last patch before the first major expansion happened.
So it'll be interesting.
Whatever it played like then is, I guess, how it's going to play in 2019. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. And then we get to some
the real meat of
the one that everyone talks about.
Yeah.
Something that's just exploding out of nowhere. I've never seen so many Diablo fans come out of the woodwork for this one. Didn't even know there were that many. But Blizzard ended their conference off with announcing Diablo Immortal, which is a Diablo mobile game, and people were not that stoked on it. More so because people were kind of expecting either a remaster announcement or something for Diablo 4. Even though Blizzard came out and said, listen, don't get your hopes set out, because as we're working on something new, we're not going to bring it. So it was kind of the expectations were set out, but people just didn't listen. Then people, on the internet and people there at BlizzCon too, started just throwing the hate in pretty unwarranted circumstances.
And the best thing is, a lot of people who played the mobile game, they say it's really good. So
I don't dispute that. I'm sure it is a pretty good game. It looks like a legitimate, real, bona fide Diablo game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it's not gonna be on PC. It's not gonna be on console.
I think what people are most concerned about is that Blizzard went to a third-party developer. They're a Chinese studio called NetEase, and they have a game very similar to Diablo Immortal that's already out. And in terms of the UI, in terms of the core mechanics of the game, people are looking at it and saying, well, all they did was reskin it. Now, I haven't played the game, obviously, so I don't really know exactly how similar the two games are, but that's where people are really getting upset about.
That's not what I saw. People were just upset that it was on mobile and it wasn't Diablo 4. From what I saw, I mean, from the early, like when it first happened.
Right. So this has been expanding, over the course of these 2 days now, because when I looked at my phone yesterday, Blizzard hasn't been setting themselves up for success either. Their gameplay trailer that went on YouTube was hit with almost, I believe, 300,000 dislikes. And at the point of last night, I haven't checked again, they had taken it down 2 additional times to re-upload it, so a total of 3 times, just to kind of hide the fact that the ratio is so bad. They're not really doing their best here.
There was honestly a lot of wrong done on both sides, fans and by Blizzard. Blizzard should have known what the general feelings are about gamers and mobile. Mobile's never met well with the North American market. But as someone who is like on the, I'm developer side, but not really developer side, like on the community side, I wish I could tell you how many times I have a game that's PC only or on a specific platform, and people are like, elsewhere in the world, they're just like, oh, is it also on mobile? Or is it also on console? Right. And I have to say, no, I'm not. And they're like, well, it's a shame because I really want to play it. It's just not everyone has the same access that we do, especially in other parts of the world. So whether that's in like Asia or Eastern Europe, or whether it's in Latin America or Africa, even, like anywhere, honest, like there's a lot of people who don't have kids here in North America. A lot of those don't even have access to a console or a gaming PC. But most people, or a lot of people, have mobile phones. Again, very poorly said at the conference, by the way, when they were just like, "You have a phone, don't you?"
Don't you guys all have phones?
It was a poor read of the room, but that sentiment does stand in where a lot of people have access to this. So it's a whole new wave of people who can experience Diablo who've maybe not had that opportunity before. Which should be awesome, because then it's like a lot more people getting access to the thing that you love and more people to talk about the thing you love. However, Blizzard should have known, again, the general sentiment towards mobile games, and should have at least had like a trailer or something else to follow it up. Because they were having this in North America, and Reddit is a thing. So
that's where I come down on this. In no respect should Blizzard have closed out their conference with a mobile game.
How did they not learn from that Command and Conquers thing?
Well, I look at like other major developers and studios. Look at Microsoft. They come out and they're like, hey, we have a Gears of War mobile game, but we also have Gears 5. Bethesda, they come out, hey, we have Fallout Shelter, we have Elder Scrolls Blades, but we also are working on other stuff. If they put this, say, in the beginning or in the middle, and then followed it up with the Warcraft remaster, I feel like things would have gone over a lot better. It was the fact that this opening ceremony show, it went on for I think an hour or two, and anticipation was rising and rising, being like, where's Diablo? And then all of a sudden they close out the show with a mobile game. Someone in the office should have known better. That's the thing.
Yeah. Again, it's a minor thing. I mean, a little bit is also, we very much have a culture of, if this game's not for me, then it's trash. And we have a lot of outrage culture. I mean, even look at Smash Brothers and like the Grinch thing, or like Waluigi. We have this thing where it's like, oh, it's not got the exact thing that I want, so therefore I'm going to yell at the people.
Nintendo Labo.
A lot of people just don't realize that not every game is going to be catered to you, and not every game is going to have every single thing catered to you. people need to realize that, because there is more than you out there. And it's a very tough thing for people to accept, I think. And like you said, a lot of people, they bought these like plane tickets, they went like $500 ticket to go to BlizzCon, and they're like, oh, you didn't announce the thing that I wanted. But it was like, you bought a plane ticket not knowing what was going to be announced. You as a consumer bought something that you don't know the contents of.
Yep.
That's on you. That's like pre-ordering a game and it's garbage, and it's like, you didn't wait for previews, so therefore it's also on you. It's on you as a consumer.
100%, because Blizzard even came out and said, we're not showing Diablo 4, but we'll have Diablo news. That could mean anything. You're buying that ticket fully knowing that you're walking into something unexpected.
Yeah. And then also there's ways to, like, I understand like disappointment and it not being the thing you want. There's ways to voice that in ways which are not damaging to the developers. It's already very tough to put yourself out there with the gaming environment as it is. There's ways to be like, this wasn't what I was expecting and I'm upset, but there's ways to do it, and it's not to call them out like that.
No.
Yeah. I mean, there's things like, there's certain games where it's like, oh, I'm upset that I don't have a female character in this game. And the developers go, oh, well, we're a really small studio. We don't want to just like reskin it and then it looks weird because then this like woman's moving like a man and, you know, like all this other stuff. We just don't have the resources. Like, that's a fair critique of the game. Right. Right? And then it's our responsibility to be like, this is why it is the way it is. It is not the right response to then go to that person and be like, oh yeah, well, females have been proven that they can't survive in the Amazon anyways. You know, like, those two arguments are not on the same level.
Not at all.
Nope. So there are fair ways. They'll be like, hey, I was really excited for Diablo 4, and I didn't get it. That's a fair critique. I don't like mobiles. It's not for me. But that was a pretty scummy way to call it out.
But also the fact that if you're thinking that Blizzard isn't making Diablo 4, you're delusional. and you know, they got this third party to help them out with it, clearly because their core team is working on a new Diablo game. You think that's the one thing I don't really like about these new initiatives that studios like Blizzard in this circumstance, or Bethesda with Fallout 76, everyone just jumps on the boat and says, well, if they're doing this, that means that moving forward they're just going to keep doing this one thing. That's why all of a sudden you saw with Bethesda this year, they had to come out and say, well, we're giving you Fallout 76, but we've also got Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. Don't hate us, guys. Don't jump on us, because they were trying to cover their asses.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're a consumer and you can vote with your wallet. If you don't like the thing, don't buy it. Yeah. And then if enough people do that, then they should learn their lesson.
That too. Yeah.
I don't know what more to say. Like, it's not like we're short for games right now. Like,
no. I mean, if you really wanted a Diablo experience, pick it up on Switch. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Just wait another year or two. It's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dennis, Josh, you guys have any opinion?
It's not the Diablo I wanted, but you go ahead, Dennis.
I'm not really into any of Blizzard's games, so like, yeah, you know, this is not for me. You know, I get why they made this game for mobile. It makes so much sense. There's tons of mobile phones out there. Like, mobile makes the perfect sense to put that game out there. Maybe get new fans into the series, and maybe that can just lead up to more people getting into Diablo 4 down the line. So I get why they did it. Like, there are tons of games that I'm not into, but you don't hear me hating on Call of Duty or all the sports games, or even, like, I don't like Red Dead, but I'm not hating on it. Like, I get why people like it. It's not for me, but there are other games for me just to, you know, care about and love playing. So,
and I think that's the distinction, is people don't make that distinction of like, this isn't for me, so therefore I'm just not excited about it, and like, this game is legitimate trash. Those things are like two very, very different things. Yeah. And there are games out there which are like, they don't launch. They're like, objectively, they're just not good. Mm-hmm. And so for them to come out and just be like super mad without actually playing the game, or just being like, hey, this isn't for me, I'm not the target for this, and then moving on, you have all this. And the way Blizzard reacted didn't help.
Although I believe we've all seen like the video of the Q&A.
He's such a
no, he 100% is. Screw that guy. But the one rep that was on stage and directly answered him, all the props to him for trying to deflect as much as possible. Afterwards, it all went downhill for Blizzard, but I really appreciated that guy for like holding his composure, and like that whole scenario was just bonkers.
I felt so bad. I saw the clip and I saw the guys' faces, and you just saw their faces drop, and I was like, oh please no, I'm gonna cry. Like, these poor people who put themselves out there, they're super passionate about this project, and then that happens. You know, it's really upsetting.
And I mean, arguably, whether or not they are passionate about the project, it's their job to present it, to put it out there and everything. It's also, they're on someone else's payroll. It wasn't their decision to make this game.
It's like getting mad at like the cashiers because the prices in the store are too high.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't do anything.
Like it's totally okay if that cashier is giving you bad service. It's not okay to yell at that cashier if, you know, it's way too expensive, or you don't like mushrooms on your burger. That doesn't really make sense. So,
like I said before, I don't know. It's not the Diablo I wanted. I wanted a 4, obviously, or maybe another big expansion for 3 would be fine. Would have been awesome. I don't know. I looked at it though after I like watched some video of it. It looks like it's an actual true form Diablo game. So I'm a little more open to the idea of trying it. I can't see myself playing much of it, of anything on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I might get it, but also I want to know, like, is it full of microtransactions, things like that of that nature, and that's the biggest, I guess. That's the biggest thing that I think that those are the mobile games. They're heavily monetized.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're not likely giving us that game for $50 and it's a full-fledged game, right? Like they're probably giving that to us for $4.99, $9.99 maybe, and then they're gonna add. There's other things that you're gonna have to do to that they're gonna make money off of.
Again, that's something
Diablo's a very loot-heavy game, right? It's all about the loot progression, picking stuff up and everything. I can see there being paywalls behind this. I can see major progression being hidden behind.
And that's like one of the areas where it's fair to criticize. Like, is this monetization model fair? Without us playing it or having hands on it, we can't comment on that.
No.
And that's a fair fair to criticize and be like, you know, this is fair, not fair. And then it's like, oh, there's other problems.
I mean, at the end of the day, same with Josh. This isn't the Diablo game I was, you know, holding my breath for. But at the same time, it looks nice. It's filling in a gap in the story, at least, that I actually care about. I did read a couple of the preview pieces and did say that some of the mechanics were pretty light. So I don't really know how I feel about that. But at the end of the day, it being on mobile, and mobile is usually a race to the bottom and major trash heap for games, I do actually really want to see if this one stands out amongst the majority of them, all of them essentially. So we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it.
If people say there's not good mobile games, they're just picking up the wrong games. There's Professor Layton's really good. The Room is very good. What's that? Reigns?
Candy
Reigns,
Crush.
Her Majesty rather.
Simpsons. What is it? Simpsons. What's the touch one? All I'm saying is that there's way too many mobile games out there, and we can't even list like 10 of them. 10 of the good ones.
Yeah. And it's fair, but there are good ones. It'll just be interesting to see if this will be one of them. It's another play to play. Like, if it's good, it's another place where you can play Diablo.
Exactly.
So.
And if it's bad, well, Diablo 4 is probably coming out next year or the year after. So.
Yeah, it's not coming out next year.
We can hope.
Steve, I love you.
We can hope.
But it's not coming out next year.
I know.
Well, after that hopeful topic, I think it's time to move on to our last topic.
Please do. I have a Fortnite event to get to at 1 o'clock sharp.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Speed round.
Something's happening today, Steve. 1 o'clock.
Okay. So up next is our my topic, video game releases of the week.
2 balls! What is that? That looks just like an enormous...
These are the video games coming out for the week of November 5th to November 9th. So let's jump in.
Oh, you didn't ask, shall we?
You didn't give us the options.
No.
Comment dictator.
This is my topic. Goes my way. Let's go.
Okay. Sorry, sir.
Coming November 5th, coming to Nintendo Switch only is Moonlighter and Skytime. On November 6th, Carnival Games is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Next is Brawlhalla is coming to Xbox One and Nintendo Switch.
It's a great Smash alternative. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks pretty interesting, actually.
It's very good.
Coming to PC is Overkill's The Walking Dead.
Isn't that coming out for Xbox and PlayStation soon?
Yeah.
Too?
It's coming February.
Okay,
What?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. It's actually a pretty cool game. I did get to play the beta with Paul, who hooked me up with a code for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a lot of potential in there.
You played it on PC, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I played on PC. I had max settings. It was awesome. It looked good. It ran really well. I'm a more of a PC or a console gamer, but this game does have a lot of potential to it. It was fun when I played.
It's like a Left 4 Dead-esque game, right?
A little bit. Like, there are missions that you go on with your people where you kind of like... So there's 2 missions that I did. One was basically trying to fortify an area, so hold off an oncoming horde. Mm-hmm. And it's just a horde mode, really. Like, you just hack away and you rebuild the barricades and you close the door, you lock the door, and you pick your friends up because they dropped and all that stuff. But then there was another one where they're like, okay, so these people, they came and they stole our generator, which we need for clean water or whatever. Right. So that you got to go to this area and you kind of sneak through. You can do this, like, stealth thing. You go to these bad guys, the raiders, whatever, and you're sneaking into their backyard and trying to take them down and get your stuff back. But obviously the fit hits the shan and then zombies get involved as well. And you just kind of like fight off the hordes of zombies and you try to get your objective. You got to take these parts from the generator or whatever, and you take them to a car and you take off. It's like a little bit like Payday, I guess.
Okay.
And a little bit like Left 4 Dead. There's a whole bunch of things that are in there. So
sure.
But it was a fun game, and I'm really excited to see what people think about it.
Cool. Yeah, when I wrote this down, like I thought it was coming to PS4 and Xbox One, but that would have been really strange because I really haven't heard anything about.
No.
So I I had to double confirm if it was true. Mm-hmm. It's coming February. No actual day, but it's coming that month anyway.
Probably the 23rd.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
I'm just saying because everything else is coming out on that day.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there. My bad.
Coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch is Grip Combat Racing, the Shape-Shifting Detective.
Okay, sorry. This is awesome. It's an FMV game made by the people that made The Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker, and it looks equally as just wild, and I am sold. More FMV games, they're great.
I like them too.
They're
Me
so
too.
good. This one looks like it's the same bonkers level as Dr. Decker, so worth checking out.
Cool.
And before I was interrupted, World of Final Fantasy Maxima.
So salty.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. I mean, can you just wait until I finish the list at least?
No.
Oh, okay.
We have to
Never
interject.
Okay. Coming to PC and PS4 is Transpose and Swords and Soldiers 2 Shawarmageddon.
Shawarmageddon.
Yeah. Coming to PS4 only is Siren, Durrican, Omen of Sorrow, The Forest, Necopara Volume 1.
Also known as the Booby Slider game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Road Redemption, and Star Bear Taxi. Coming to Nintendo Switch only is Rogue Legacy, Full Metal Furies, Yeah.
Furries.
Yeah.
I know, I've always
been a way
misread it
better
as furries.
Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 and Shadow of Loot Box.
Everyone wants games about loot boxes.
Well,
Only if they have loot boxes within the game about loot boxes.
you know, every time I try and look up that game, Shadow of Loot Box, I always get like the Shadow Mordor Loot Boxes article.
Right.
So it's very hard to find the confirmation of when this game is coming out. Okay, on to November 7th. Steel Rats is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Coming to PC and Nintendo Switch is Daru, The Art of Cooperation. Coming to PC.
Say it, Dennis. Say it.
Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry.
Someone clip that out.
I'm serious. It's a classic series, guys. Come on.
Is this a remaster or is it like a new one?
I think it's a new game.
It's a new game.
Oh.
Yeah, because the previous games are set like in the 80s, and this is like, you know, current, I guess. I don't know. I really didn't look into it.
I did.
Okay. You're our expert on Leisure Suit Larry. Also coming to PC is Hell Signs via Steam Early Access, Kursk, Fluffy Horde, Crypto Game, and Holy Potatoes, a spy story.
It's more of a question.
I love
It's
the
a
Holy
question-
Potatoes series.
It's a question mark and exclamation point.
A spy story?
A spy story.
Has anyone played a Holy Potatoes game?
I've
No.
never heard of them.
Oh, they're great. They're basically like every game is like a different genre, and they're just like potatoes, but the writing is so funny and witty, and it's like a big parody of the genre. There's like Holy Potatoes in Space, and I can't remember, there's some other ones, but they're all like actually really good games. It's really good writing.
On to November 8th. Rage in Peace is coming to PC and Nintendo Switch. Doodle God Crime City is coming to PC and Xbox One. Survival Ball is coming to PC. And coming to Nintendo Switch only is Battlezone Gold Edition. Valiant Hearts, The Great War, Mechanica, The Walking Vegetables. Radical Edition.
I can't believe that's not Radish Edition.
Yeah, missed
Ooh,
opportunity.
they screwed up.
Astabreed, Varion, Siberia 1 and 2, Timber Tennis Versus, Skyforce Anniversary, Crashlands, The Bugcatcher, Mercenary Wings, The False Phoenix, Johnny Turbo's Arcade Breakthrough, Johnny Turbo's Arcade Night Slasher, and Picture Painting Puzzle 1000!
Sounds like my kind of jam.
I mean, you got choices there.
Is it Picross? Because if it's Picross, it's an instant buy for me.
On to November 9th, 11-11 Memories Retold is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Tetris Effect is coming to PS4. Coming to Xbox One only is Mechanica and Chasm. And coming to Nintendo Switch only is Kaleido-Lot, Townsman, Forgotten Anne, Noir Chronicles, City of Crime, and Saboteur. And those are the video game releases of the week.
Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks. You found me a new Picross game. I am super stoked.
I mean,
Also,
I do my
I-
research.
I heard really good things about Tetris Effect.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hearing good things about it too.
Yeah.
Wang! Pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying...
So that about wraps it up for this episode of the Canadian Geekcast. Before we dive into our plugs for of where you can find us, Ian, we mentioned this on our last episode about his extra life he's doing for Saskatchewan. I'm not gonna mention all of it, but he tweeted us saying if you want to learn more about Extra Life in Saskatchewan, be sure to follow Extra Life SK. So if you want to learn more about what's going on that, it's happening November 17th or 16th. Just go there and you'll find out more of what's going on. And I think we're definitely gonna donate some codes to him and whatnot.
And if you're listening to us live, there is a lot of Extra Life streams going on right now all weekend. So definitely check those out and donate. They're all for a good cause.
Yep.
Willie. Yeah. What's that? Well, it looks like a giant... Johnson.
Okay, guys, if people wanted to connect with you, where can they go? Steph?
Find me everywhere as Maple Thistles, but I'm most active on Twitter. I still haven't broken out to have a Weeb account yet, so I'm sorry. You're going to have to deal with Weeb stuff and the gaming stuff for now. It's mostly just me yelling about Bakugo right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you do. Steve?
Find me on Twitter at @svigvardi. I'll be posting a whole bunch of stuff about Red Dead over the coming weeks, I'm sure. This game is huge.
Yeah, a lot of huge games we're all playing.
Yeah.
Some more
Josh?
than others.
Yeah. Josh?
True.
You can find me mostly on Twitter at Xbox Canada. And I also have a site that I sometimes write to, pixelzero.com. And that's it for me.
Yes, and you can find me mostly on Twitter at HunterSlasher13, where I just talk a bevy of topics that interest me.
A bevy of topics? Ooh.
Yeah, bevy. Gaming. I do a lot. I watch a lot of stuff. Sometimes too much. So, if you can chime on Twitter with questions for us for the podcast, or maybe one of these days, maybe you can, give us a question of the week. So we might actually, not use the default, but well, what can you do?
Also, shout out
you can also...
to Geek Oil, Train Ass, Eon Veloth for watching.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah, cheers.
So please tune in next week where we'll discuss more things geeky and why everything is awesome.
Hey, that was pretty positive.
When you have pineapple on pizza?
I mean, I like pizza with
it's
pineapple.
fairly self-explanatory, I think, by now, right?
Yeah. Like, you get what you get with a podcast. 2 of us like it, 2 of us don't, and 1 is indifferent.
One wants peace in our time between the pineapple and the non-pineapple clans.
Yeah. I mean, if you side with one, then the war is over.
Yeah, majority rules.
I'll just pull a Smash Brothers on all of y'all.
Well, we must bid you adieu, goodbye, and see you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.